What's up, y'all? It's Too Small to Ball, and I have a juicy one for y'all today. I have a good one. I'm glad I kind of waited for this one to come out. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about and who I'm talking about and what I'm referring to, it's Mr. CP3. Chris Paul has announced his retirement. Some people think it's just like a he was upset in the mood retirement. Others think it might be a real retirement. He was looking for a farewell tour, like on some Kobe Bryant level stuff, which he deserves it because he's one of the top 10 point guards. I call him. He's like, but he's not like 10. He's like probably top five for me. I know it's kind of crazy because I don't really. His game was flashier than a lot of earlier point guards back in the 50s, obviously. Um, but what's strange is how this became a thing this season out of nowhere. You go from a guy that was playing every game last season with the San Antonio Spurs. He's 40. He was 39 last year. So he was like, what, 39, 40, whatever. But he was playing every game. He he was doing his thing. I don't know what he averaged last year before we dive deeper into that because that matters, right? We gotta see what he actually averaged and stuff like that. So let's see. Um, I know his career average is 17 points. Won't give it to him. 10 assists, four or five rebounds. He was a true point guard. Chris Paul set the standard. For a lot of point guards, point guards, however you want to label him, however you see him. And he had a lot of rumors about his attitude, but so did Kobe, so did Jordan. So a lot of the greats that wanted to win all had attitudes at the end of the day. Like if you want to, well, I mean, like you felt like they had an attitude. You could say that because their attitude was to win. They did not want to lose. So some who label this as a bad attitude, they don't understand the winning aspect. Some label it as a great attitude, they understand the winning aspect of it and why he was like that. Because a lot of times you get into these situations, into these with these leaders and that you want them to present winning. You want them to have that attitude of winning. They want to win. They want to be looked at as like, great. It's a lot of, and he haven't won a chip. So, and it takes an attitude to get to a chip. It takes a lot of, you know, adversity, you would say. Maybe a lot of arguments, maybe a lot of like teammate breakups, people that don't fit and match the vision of your personal vision as a leader. And Chris Paul supposedly had a strong attitude about him when it came to the basketball court. Some people, you hear it both ways. Some people say he was this way, he was great man. Some people say as a teammate he was terrible. Then but then you don't I can't really like, I wish he was more in the spotlight, even though he was on had commercials. He had the whole State Farm with Jake and them. He had the commercials. He gave us that. He he was the players president, of the Players Association and whatnot for a couple years. Like most of his career, I believe he was that till it went to Jalen Brown. Um. So yeah, so he had a lot of accomplishments in this league to give your respect, give your flowers too. He wasn't just a player, he was a voice for players off the court as well. So I say all this to say, for a man to come back and want a farewell tour with his team that he was normally like, he brought to the, you could say, to the highest heights, which was the Clippers. And it was different owners back. We gotta realize it was a different owner back then, and it went through. I think he came in like half when Chris Paul was about to leave. I think Steve Ballmer came in and flipped that whole thing. Everybody left, whatever it goes. But he was there with Vinny Del Negro and Negro, whatever his name is. We all know that situation, how that went with that. But Lob City was a thing. He would go against my Lakers, and I didn't like it. I was just like, nah, man. He had Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan over there. You got the dunk face guy. He had a squad with him, regardless for that. But how far did they get? They didn't get that far. They didn't really get that far. They didn't went to the West Conference Finals, and that was it. They fizzled out, and Probably, and it never happened again after that. It was a lot of mishaps, ups and downs, a lot of things like that just happened, right? So he wanted to come back this current season of the NBA. He was expecting to be on a retirement tour. Although it wasn't announced that he was retiring yet, but the team how it was constructed at the time, you had Bradley Beal, they still got Bradley Beal. You got Bradley Beal, Harden, Kawhi, him. Those four alone was and Zubac, sorry, five alone was supposed to paint this picture. They had them like top three in the West. They had them like top three to win the chip with that whole squad and everything. And they came out the gate and they kind of pooped. Like they wasn't living up to those expectations. Supposedly, I got footage, so I'm about to show y'all something. It's gonna get real crazy. It's kind of funny because I sat there. I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad I waited because I got to see this footage and I want to share with y'all. YouTube, this is a reaction video. Please do not. I promise you, I googled this. This supposed to be okay, so leave me alone. Uh, I'm gonna play what he was on. He was on Carmelo Anthony's podcast. 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. And it was over the All Star break, and he had a conversation. He said something finally that he finally spoke up and was able to get up off his chest. And a lot of things I sit there and I'm thinking to myself that he said was like pretty. It was pretty crazy. I don't know. He said something that make you want to think about this Clipper situation. Like, what the hell is going on in the Clipper Nation up there? They just got a new arena. Okay, y'all just hosted the All Star Weekend. Okay, y'all had all those. Kawhi Leonard was planting trees. Okay, supposedly, but that's where the money went. And but it's like as soon as that broke for some reason, it got real strange and got real quiet. Like a lot of people in that organization started acting kind of funny. Like James Harden out of nowhere, he wanted out. After Chris Paul got put off the team, like now he got put off the team, he got sent home. So let's correct that. He got sent home. Then he got traded to he got traded like I, I think he like ping ponged a few times. I know he landed in the Raptors, and that's when he announced that he's retiring because he's like, I don't want to be here. Obviously, who wants to? He didn't want to be there. He wanted to be a Clipper. He wanted to be at home. He wanted to play in front of his family. He said so. He announced that he's going to retire, back down, whatever. But everybody had speculation that it was James Harden that drove the ownership and whoever's in that front office to have Chris Paul get sent home from Atlanta on a road trip, send him home straight to LA. Like, hey, bro, you're not gonna follow us on this road trip. You gotta get up out of here. So that's what happened, right? And now we sit and we think, like, okay, if it was speculation that James Harden was the issue, then a couple games later, because they went 2-14 or some crazy crap. A couple games later, they start going on a streak and went like after out of their 21 games before the All Star break, I think they were like 17-4. Does that make the math right? That's crazy. That's crazy, right? So yeah, they were on a streak. They were doing their thing, and then yeah, James Harden asked out. Why does he ask out? Nobody knows. It was just random. Like, okay, so, but it came right after the break of them saying that the league is going to make an announcement on the Kawhi Leonard situation with the planting trees thing and stuff like that. I don't know. That's what they said. That's what it is. We gonna see what that means. I don't know what that means. I don't know if they gotta if somebody got whiffed of what might happen. The hammer comes down, smack them, boom. Also, before we get into the video, if y'all watched the All Star game, Kawhi was out there cooking like it was his last meal and stuff like that. He had like 31 points in like 12 minutes or some crazy number. So that could have he was playing like that was his last game, and nobody knows. And then now the All Star break is over, so we got games this week. Now I'm gonna wait here and see. We're gonna realize if they're actually going to. This camera is like tripping. I'm still trying to learn this camera. It's going in and out of my focus, but we're gonna learn that if the league's gonna actually bring that hammer down now, because they said they was gonna wait till after the All Star game and now we're here. We're like Thursday tomorrow, which is tomorrow, right? And Friday, I know Lakers play. I don't know if anybody plays tomorrow. Did anybody play today? Don't be paying. I'm just like, I'm here with the news. I'm just trying to bring y'all something. So, anyways, it's just strange how he wanted to leave and your team is trending up. Like y'all not in the dirt no more. Y'all are still in the play in, but it's not like it was like far off from y'all making the playoffs without the play in, or maybe that one game you gotta win and you're there in the play. You're the number 8 seed, so now you there. Was it the 7 seed? Either or you're there, so it's like you're out. But who am I? Excuse me. I'm just a blogger, I'm just blog on this sports stuff. So we're gonna get into this video and I'm gonna break it down and figure out because I heard something in here that he said that was very interesting about this Clipper thing, and it's very crazy. It's very crazy. So I'm gonna bring this video up for y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all thinking.
When that thing happened with the Clippers, I mean, why I don't really talk to nobody, but I talk to Kawhi about every week. You know what I'm saying? If I was that bad, why I'm talking?
Kawhi be talking?
Why I be talking all the time? I hit T.
And yeah, so and that too. Like he said, he's cool with Kawhi Leonard. He said he's saying Kawhi. Ever since it happened, they've been talking. They've been doing their thing, whatever. And that lets you. So who's a franchise player? Kawhi's the franchise player of the team. Unless some two-faced thing going on up there, and Chris Paul knew something about this organization deeper than the players that the people at the top got to get rid of him because you know he gonna say something. Obviously, like I said, he's he was the face he was the president of the players association, right? So you got to understand like he was in a position before to speak out for these players and it makes you want to think like what did he really say, what feathers did he really ruffle to make them want to get rid of him like this? Like it was just crazy. So and I'm glad that he's finally coming out saying what he wants to say about the situation because being quiet make a lot of people speculate. And then even then he brings up that he talked to T. Lue. So who's really I don't know. Let's just continue the video.
Lou, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love to finish my career here. L. Frank, I hit him, said the same thing. Early in the season, Lawrence Frank sent me an article about how great my leadership was.
I ain't gonna lie. Why he sound like he crying? Like he sound like his voice is cracking. Like he finna cry. Like he finna. He sound like he emotional right there. You can tell. I ain't trying to make fun of dude, but it's passion in his voice. And you could tell he was really hurt and surprised by the situation that took place with him because this is an organization he actually brought out the dirt. Like he's the reason why y'all was able to convince a Kawhi, convince a. Well, they kind of got shade though. That pick, I take that back. They kind of got Shea off of them trades that broke down to to get them there. So when Chris Paul left, they got those picks and was able to get Shea. They drafted Shea, didn't know what they had. Then they trade Shea for Paul George. Then after you sign Kawhi, because Kawhi said go get Paul George, so you flip those picks, send them to who was Jalen Williams and Shea, that who was already drafted. You send them down to OKC. Couple years later, within the year span of Kawhi's contract, OKC wins a chip. Shea wins MVP, and what the Clippers got to show for it? Nothing. Nothing. They gotta be the dumbest franchise in league history to just you talk about fumble. It ain't even a fumble. You just like you might as well you just threw it away. You just said here, handed it off, and y'all just let OKC become something. Y'all could have had a cornerstone. Kawhi was such in a rush to get to want to play with Paul George, excuse me. And look how that went. Paul George left. Y'all didn't want to pay him. He left. He didn't deserve. I ain't saying he deserved his money, but he left because he didn't feel like, well, I'm here. What am I here for? What are we doing for real? That's how he really felt in this situation. He was just like, I don't understand. I don't understand why I'm here. You not. He was trying to win, but he asked for some money. They didn't want to give him the money, so then he got into his feelings and left. Whatever. It's a bunch of drama. That's what I'm saying. Like if you talk about Hollywood and you talk about how dramatic Hollywood is, because it's the Clippers are the definition of Hollywood. Like that's like housewife level. Like it's crazy. It's their franchise has just been nothing but drama. Like they just been all from the old owner saying these the racial slurs to Steve Ballmer in his seat about to have a heart attack over every shot his teammate, you know, um, and then Kawhi, I don't know, he just the money, the planting trees, like what trees we really talking about? Because that's what we really want to know. We want to know y'all what kind of trees was y'all planting? Y'all just calling it planting trees because there's something going on. But anyways, I just find it strange. Like you sat here and y'all really had all this, and y'all just threw it away. And then here it goes again. Y'all throwing it away again. Y'all throwing it. Y'all let James Harden. Y'all didn't have to trade James Harden. But anyways, let's get back to the video because I can go on with that whole situation, how I feel about that, because it's just so strange.
Article I had never seen. He texted it to me saying, "Man, this is great leadership right here." I was extremely grateful. You saw I was emotional.
Yes, absolutely.
When I went back, I knew it was going to be my last year, and I was getting to play in front of my family.
How did it get to that point where it ends so just abruptly?
I still was grasping.
I want to get to the point where he actually said the whole thing. Hold
Got to that. I believe in communication during training camp.
on. Hey, this the part that I really was brought. This the part that threw me off when he says this right here. Y'all gonna realize when he says this, I had questions in this seat and get to it. Like I had questions.
I talked to one of my teammates for a while, and then as soon as I went in the meal room, somebody came and told me like they didn't want me giving players advice. So I told them, I was like, "You were my assistant coach. I know you." But it
See, that right there let you know what the Clippers all about, man. Like, how you gonna tell a vet who's known for winning your franchise like player? Because obviously Chris Paul, who he was when Lob City was there, he was the franchise player, and that's the Blake Griffin. He was the player. He was regardless. They did draft Blake Griffin, but Blake Griffin had a red shirt. He got hurt the first year. We all remember that. Chris Paul was there still. Chris Paul was the big ticket because the trade to the Lakers got vetoed, so Chris Paul ended up going to the Clippers. If y'all don't remember that, that's back when David Stern was the commissioner of the NBA and blah 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 blah. So you go from this right here is like the biggest proof. If he's telling the truth, and I believe he is, because you could hear it in his voice, he's kind of upset. And when people get mad, they get all emotional in the voice. They get like they finna cry, but they really just upset about something. Then you start realizing this this is diabolical, man. This you telling a player, a vet who has 20 plus years in the league, and you're telling him not to give advice to other players in training camp. Who who was the one that went to the coach or went to the front office and said, "Hey, man, I'm tired of this dude talking to me like this. Somebody get their uncle." Like, who the one went over there and told him, like, why is he talking to me like this? Was it James Harden? Because we know they had played in Houston together. It's crazy because it's like Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook always got this like stigma over them. Be either they're ultra aggressive like Russell Westbrook, or Chris Paul don't seem super aggressive. He seemed like he'll say something crazy, but he don't got that energy like Russell Westbrook do, that bull energy. But I know Chris Paul probably like he's from the old. It's we call it the old era. Like he's from that era where he's like before the NBA got soft. He was there. He knows what it takes to win, and he has 20 plus experience of NBA basketball. And you gonna sit here and tell this man you don't want them to give players advice. And that's what made me come here. That's why I'm like, yo, like the sad part about all of that is how do you sit there and in that one sentence, it sums up how the Clippers franchise is all for as long as they've been here, since they were the basement of the Lakers, since they even got a new stadium and they still playing these games. I don't understand how you expect anybody to take y'all serious and y'all won't even take y'all own franchise serious. Is this just a money grab? Is it what is going on? Because y'all got all these good people that came through there good enough. Kawhi Leonard just won a chip. Y'all couldn't get out the dirt with Kawhi. I know he was hurt. Y'all let him take y'all on a roller coaster, first of all. Y'all let him just do whatever he want. Y'all let him do whatever he want. And we know James Harden has history of him and Dwight Howard when they were teammates in Houston, and they would go out to eat on a team dinner, and they were telling other players, hey, this is where a superstar sit. Y'all sit over there. Him and Dwight Howard had that attitude towards their teammates. So that's what makes me think. Was Chris Paul trying to like create like a bond amongst the whole team, and let them know, okay, we got to come together to be this way. We got to come together because I know James Harden likes to party on his own. You see him walk. You don't really see him hang out with hang out with rappers and stuff. You don't really hear him talk too much about hanging out with basketball players and stuff like that outside. It's always rappers. So usually he got that little ego. He probably got that. I never met the man. I'm just saying that's what it seemed like. He just He ran off to Cleveland, and the fact that he sat there and said, I didn't request to be traded, but I did tell them I want to look out for their future. So I think letting me go would be best to protect their future. Like, that's basically asking for a trade. Like, to be honest with you, you telling them you just let you go, that's you asking for a trade. Come on, you protecting it. You worry about their future, trying to make yourself sound good. Then you get to the media and you tell them you didn't ask for a trade. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, nobody's standing on what they standing on. Like, who is running the franchise over there? There's nothing. There's no standard being set. That's why y'all would never win. That's why the Clippers will never win until I just don't think they'll win at all because you're just y'all just force blame. Y'all start all over every 5 years. Y'all not even trying to. Y'all ain't won nothing. When the last time y'all went to the Western Conference Finals? I don't even know if y'all even went, but if y'all went, that was the only time y'all went. Other than that, y'all didn't win any. Y'all haven't won anything to be acting this way, which is crazy. Y'all acting like y'all did something. Y'all acting like y'all got 17 banners hanging up or something, and y'all know what y'all doing. The fact that y'all letting this man come in here and say what he said, and then you tell him not to help your players. If I'm Chris Paul, I'm taking it as a blessing. I know he wanted to play at home or in front of his kids, whatever the excuse was, family and stuff like that. But sometimes you just got to take your lumps, bruh. You should have went back to Phoenix. Phoenix respected you way more, I think. To be honest with me, I'd have went back to Phoenix. If Phoenix gave me like $1 million, I would have went over there because they respected you way more. You took them to the finals with Book. You know what I'm saying? And y'all dragged DA over there. Fortunately, but you took them. You took them there. Like you was a part of that. You was a part of that culture. I know you set out in the playoffs, but you was a part of that situation. And yo, Book, listen, you can tell because Book got the same type of attitude Chris Paul has. It has the same attitude as Kobe. Has the same MJ. And I can go on. LeBron James does not have that attitude, but I can go on and on about what it takes. They may not have won, but the fact that he had that attitude and it took Phoenix to the finals after Steve Nash was there and kept trying to run through the Lakers, and get to the final. They never could get there. But when Chris Paul got there with Booker and stuff like that, they end up going all the way to the finals. They did it. They won it. They went there. So he's a proven winner. He showed he has the recipe to do this, and y'all still treat him like he was nothing. And that's the sad part about all this. Nobody ever is ever going to respect y'all as a franchise because what am I gonna look like building? You gonna tell me we building something? What are we building? What are we building? We build an arena, but what are we building here? Are we trying to win championships? Are we just trying to be the highest tech, best, flashiest arena, new whatever the heck it is with trees planted around the arena, fresh trees for oxygen. We might put trees inside the arena. You know, since we got Kawhi, we might use his company because I invested in his company. I put that in there. I didn't invest in his company. It wasn't because of the contract. It could be. I don't know what y'all was doing. It's just crazy to me how y'all just let Chris Paul just go like that and then turn around and then all of a sudden Buddy is James Harden is gone. Kawhi playing his heart out. Why Kawhi was playing so hard in All-Star? What happened? What is going on? Are we gonna find out tomorrow? Because I'm waiting. I am waiting for the ruling. I want to know: is he done for the season in a season and a half? Does the Clippers, are they forfeiting anything? Because obviously I think that's deeper than tampering if I'm taking money from the cap so I can avoid the cap hit and putting it into your so-called planting tree business, and all of a sudden all this breakup thing happened and now everybody's scrambling, and it's sad. Like, Chris Paul, did you really want to go through that? Like, I don't think you deserve that. 21 years, you didn't deserve that, bro. And I don't think you should retire just because this team did this to you. You should honestly sit back and just think about what I agree with what Gil was saying. You should take the summer, work out during the summer, and get your farewell tour like honestly back. Go to the who drafted him? Was it the Pelicans? Because now it's so confusing. The Hornets. Is it the Hornets, Pelicans? New Orleans? Yeah, like you go somewhere where you appreciate it, brother. Like, you can go back home, North Carolina. I know the Hornets would love, like, like that's real home for you. I'm not gonna say come to my team, even though somebody was telling me that that's a good idea to have you on our bench, but nah. No, with all due respect though, like, I do respect Chris Paul's game, man. He was dope. He did his thing, his he set the standard for a true point guard. And yes, he stayed within the true point guard realm. He didn't like start shooting threes, becoming a shooting guard. He didn't like shy away from making assists. He made sure he set up his team on and off the court. He made sure he was the coach on the floor. He made sure he did everything he could do to help his team win, and the attitude, because he played defense too. He was one of the last dying breed point guards, true point guards that actually played both sides of the ball with the same amount of energy. And he had a lot of daggers against the Lakers. I say all that to say Kawhi, Kawhi, Steve Ballmer, what's going on, man? Why, like, Clippers, y'all not gonna be anything moving forward. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. Y'all trash. Y'all just gonna forever be trash. I feel sorry for y'all fans. Y'all came at me. I have people that are Clipper fans. I know people that are Clipper fans. They came at me crazy when they got Kawhi Leonard. Y'all came at me like y'all thought y'all was gonna win the chip year after year. What y'all win? A trip to the bench and then the bleachers, because that's where Kawhi was sitting up there in the bleachers, watching his team in the playoffs. And he didn't do anything for y'all. He didn't do anything for y'all. He was the best. I'm gonna be here today. I'm gonna be gone tomorrow. I'm gonna be here today. I'm gonna be gone tomorrow. I'm gonna be here today. I'm gonna be gone tomorrow. I'm gonna be gone all day. I'm gonna be gone all season. Like, he never really established a full healthy season there to make y'all feel like y'all was gonna win anything. So it's funny that y'all got him, and then when we got LeBron James, we got pooped on, and people was talking so much mess. LeBron won in 2020. We faced the Clip. Like, come on, the Clippers was in a bubble too, and they'll tell you, "Oh, we didn't feel like playing. We didn't feel like playing. No, no, no. Nah. We ain't finna hear all that. We ain't finna hear all that. Y'all had Paul George, Kawhi Leonard in the bubble with y'all. That's the last time I remember Kawhi actually being on a court and actually trying something. But it didn't work because they're saying now it was mental. It was messed up. Nobody felt like playing. Man, get out of here. Y'all should have just stayed home then. Should have stayed home. Other than that, like, even then after that, people still was coming at us. People was talking crap about AD missing games. Why are we not talking about Kawhi Leonard missing seasons and getting paid and still missing seasons and planting trees, and why are we not? Y'all calling AD Mr. Glass. At least he stepped on the floor when he was a Laker. He was on the floor. He tried. Kawhi would just, he didn't care. Steve Ballmer was so happy he had Kawhi Leonard for what? Y'all got rid of Shea, who would have been y'all future. Now, if y'all would have kept Shea and y'all kept them picks, look at OKC. That would have been the Clippers. I don't know. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking. I'm not saying, like, obviously the scouts of the Clippers suck, but they already drafted SGA. So I'm not gonna take away what OKC did after that with their picks from the Clippers, because I can't say the same thing that the Clippers would have did with those picks. They probably would have messed it up and went to go flip it somewhere else anyway. They would have just went to go chase somebody else anyway. Like, they have that record. It's terrible. So It's too small to ball. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments section. Let me know, does CP3 deserve a true farewell tour? Where does he rank in your top point guard list? Uh, and yeah, like that's all I got to say about that. I don't have. I wanted to hit y'all with that real quick because it was just something that was on my mind, and a lot of people. And I looked up, like I said before, Chris Paul was a basketball idol of mine. Somebody who I took pieces of games from, who I got a voice from, who I got like when I played basketball. I was little, so that's what my thing was. Shout out to Too Small to Ball. So I was trying to be the little guy, and that was Chris Paul. Him dunking on Dwight Howard. That was like iconic to me. Him setting people up. Playing defense, playing, getting down and dirty, and making sure he do all the hustle plays. That's the Chris Paul I remember, and who I really looked up to. So I know he had heart from the start of everything. So, like I said, make sure y'all like, subscribe, make sure y'all share the video. Y'all let me know what y'all really truly think. Shout out to y'all Clipper fans out there. Shout out to y'all bandwagoners who was bouncing between Golden State Warriors and the Clippers when y'all got Kawhi Leonard. We all know what y'all did because when they got KD, all the Clipper fans went to the Warriors. When KD left and the Clippers got Kawhi, y'all came back down here. Like, we know what y'all was doing. Shout out to y'all too, y'all. So I'll see y'all Friday. Probably drop something tomorrow, but I'll see y'all Friday for sure. And we're gonna get back to it. It's Too Small to Ball. Let's keep the conversation going. I'm out.